Will you pray with me? May the words of my mouth and the meditations of all our hearts be acceptable to you, O God, our rock and our Redeemer. Amen. Here in January 2022, we have entered the era of not if, but when. With this lovely, new, highly contagious Omicron COVID variant, we're speaking in terms of not if I or someone in my close circle gets the virus, but when. For many of us, that's already happened. This week, as we mark the one-year anniversary of the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, an act of domestic terrorism that many of us believed wasn't possible here in our nation, we were reminded that these days, it's not if political polarization spills over into violence, but increasingly, it's when it does. And many of us in our own lives are reckoning in new ways with our mortality and the mortality of those we love. It's not if our health fails us or if we lose our loved ones, but when. Conceptually, we've always known that the only guarantee of human existence is none of us gets out alive, but these days, we're feeling it more viscerally, aren't we? Life, love, the ground of our being, it all feels more tenuous for many among us. I don't particularly like this current chapter of reality, in case you're curious. Not that the universe really asked me, but given the choice, this is not the new year that I would have planned. We are weary as a people. We're scared, we're tired, and ask any grocery store clerk or customer service rep, we're rather angry, and we're taking it out on any and everyone. We are a people at our wits' end. We have been through, we're still going through the ordeal of a lifetime. You know what I learned this week about that word, ordeal? The English word ordeal was first used in medieval Europe to describe a trial where guilt or innocence was determined by subjecting someone to a dangerous and often excruciatingly painful experience and seeing if they survived. There was trial by water, think the Salem witch trials, or trial by fire, think Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace. We've even got ordeal by lions, if you think of Daniel in the lion's den. Our English word comes from medieval Europe, but this practice of trial by ordeal can be found as far back as Hammurabi's Code, a legal document from the Empire of Babylon. Babylon. Remember? That nation that conquered Jerusalem and sent the people into exile. The place where the prophet known as Second Isaiah was sitting when he penned these words from God. Do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name, you are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And through the rivers, they shall not overwhelm you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned, and the flame will not consume you. Did you catch that? Not if you pass through the waters, but when. The people of Israel had indeed been through the ordeal. Trial by water, trial by fire. They were slaves in Egypt, oppressed by their cruel taskmasters when God sent Moses to draw them out. And as they were leaving Egypt, Pharaoh pursued them until they were trapped on the banks of the Red Sea. But God parted the sea and led God's people through the waters. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. Not if, but when. And then the people wandered in the wilderness for 40 years. They thought they would starve, but God sent them manna. They thought they would die of thirst, but God brought them water from the rock. They thought they would be lost forever, but God guided them in a pillar of cloud by day and fire by night. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned, and the flame will not consume you. Not if, but when. The promise and the comfort of these words from Isaiah, do not fear. This good news comes with a caveat that there will be lots of bad news too. Trials and tribulations, water and fire are a given for God's people. Being the people who are called precious in God's sight does not get us out of the ordeal. We would be naive to think that we will be spared times of great suffering, experiences of utter brokenness. The promise of our God is not that we will escape the waters or the fire, but rather that when we go through them, not if, but when, we will not go alone. Today we hear about Jesus' baptism, and we come to these waters to remember our own. Today we acknowledge once again that we, God's people, are called, claimed, and beloved, that we have been through the waters. We are no strangers to the ordeal. In baptism, God says, you need not fear the waters because you've been through them before. When you pass through the waters, not if, but when, I will be with you, and you will be a people reborn. When you pass through the rivers, not if, but when, they will not overwhelm you, because I am the Lord your God, and I will bring you home. When you walk through the fire, not if, but when, the flames will not consume you, not even death can part me from you, because you are precious in my sight. Friends, indeed, there is much to fear. The ordeal is all but guaranteed. Things are hard, and they will get harder. It's not a question of if, but when. Yes, there is much to fear. But in these waters, there is one who meets us and says, do not be afraid, for I am with you. I have called you each by name. Come, follow me. I will bring you home. I love you, and you are mine. Amen.